Hi, my name is Rick Gore. I'm out here at the Travis Equestrian Center. Today we're going to talk about how to stop a horse from walking off on you when you're mounting him. So, Buddy here is pretty good at this. He listens pretty well, but the reason a horse walks off when you mount him is because you let him or you trained him to do so. You've never taught him not to walk off. Just like if I didn't want him rubbing on me, I could teach him not to do that. So if your horse is walking off on you, it's because you haven't trained him not to walk off on you. And it's probably because you've done things that caused him to walk off. By not having good balance, by not having good lunging ability to get in a saddle quickly. You either hang on a saddle, you pull, you try to pull yourself up on a saddle, you pull the horse off balance, and he normally walks off to catch his balance. So a couple things you can do to stop a horse from doing that is make him square up. Now this horse is pretty strong. He's kind of squared up right now, but if I want him to square up, I'm going to push him a little bit. And when I push him, look at his feet. His feet are going to square up. There, I've just made him increase his balance, and now he's ready to support me because I've moved him. So he's less likely to lose his balance when I get off him. So then when I get on him, I need to make sure my foot's in a stirrup and I get a good lunge, nice and high, and I go right up over him and I get my body over him. And I'm ready with this rein that if he walks off, I can stop him. Now if I hang here and I keep a loose rein and I start wiggling, watch this horse walk off here. He's gonna be like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? I can't, there. Now, I just made him walk off because I wasn't prepared and I didn't get on him. So if your horse is walking off, it's because you're making him walk off. If you get in the saddle right, you square him up before you get on, you make sure you got a good rein on him so he knows not to walk off. He's gonna stand still for you, let you get in the saddle, and know not to walk off. Another thing I do when I get on a horse is I usually flex him. So he knows when I get on, he gets flexed, so he knows that I'm not gonna walk off until I get flexed. So I'm setting him up for success by telling him, hey, when I get on you, you don't walk off until we flex and until I tell you to. Good boy. And that's how you stop a horse from walking off on you. And again, having the reins, having good balance, square the horse up, and teach him that walking off is not the correct answer. Standing still is. Hi, I'm Rick Gore from the Travis Equestrian Center. We're going to talk a little bit on how to teach a horse or get the horse to bow down for you. First thing you want to do is make sure the horse is comfortable with you being around him, being able to do a lot of sacking out, a lot of different things underneath him, being comfortable with the horse by his legs, making sure he knows what cues are and that he'll let you lift up his leg. We're going to come over here, have him face the camera a little bit, get a nice soft spot on the ground so we don't hurt him. And I'm going to use a carrot just as a little indicator to help him. So he wants his carrot, and I know he wants his carrot, so I'm going to get him to drop his head a little bit and get the carrot. So as he drops his head, I'm teaching him to come to the carrot. And then I'm going to advance this and get him to come a little further each time over time. Good boy, come here. So we're going to go a little bit lower this time. So the first time I gave him the carrot here, then we went there. This next time, I'm going to see if I can't get him to go all the way down between his legs. And I'm going to pull it back from just a little bit. Good boy. Now since he got his head all the way back there, I'm going to give him another carrot. And this time I'm going to help him and show him that I want his leg to go up. So I'm going to pick his leg up, hold his leg back, and now I'm going to have him come back to the carrot. Good boy. And then let him go. Again, most horse training is little steps. Show the horse what you want him to do, and then lead him to the right answer. So I held his leg up. I got him to bow a little bit. I'm going to hold his leg up and I'm going to make him come a little bit further back this time. And he almost went down. Good boy. And we'll let him go. And he came back up. He did a good job. And this time he's ready to go all the way down because he's a carrot fiend. Good boy. I'm going to hold his leg up. We're going to get him to go all the way down. And then after I get him to do this, get him to go all the way down. Come on back. Good boy. And then from then on, we just keep going on further and further and further. And then I associate that with a word such as bow, like I associate this with yes. And that's how you get your horse to bow, using carrots. Hi, I'm Rick Gore out here at the Travis Equestrian Center. Today we're going to talk about why barefoot is good for the horse and basically cover what's called a Mustang roll. I'm not a farrier. I do my own horse's feet. I think barefoot is much more healthy for the horse. I think it's better for the environment. You don't have a bunch of old rusty horseshoes and nails getting pulled off in pasture. You don't have horseshoes starting fires, hitting rocks, sparks, starting fires, burning down fences. When a horse gets a shoe on, there's a chance of him getting a hot nail to where the nail will puncture the lamini or do some damage to the hoof wall. It also lets bacteria and other stuff in there when you compromise the hoof wall by putting a nail through it. So I'm not a shoe fan. I don't promote shoes. I don't like them. Barefoot, I think, this is a Mustang out in the wild. They don't have shoes. Their feet are hard. They get harder if they don't have any support. I understand that in the wild they're not carrying a 200-pound person. However, a horse foot will adjust, and it has a self-sculpting capability. But because we have them in our environment to where we have a soft footing in the arena, or we ride them on soft, good ground, and we don't run them over rocks, etc., because they are carrying our weight, you can make the hoof a little bit stronger by doing a thing called the Mustang roll. So what I'm going to do here is just show you real quick, because I do my own horse's feet, every once in a while your horses will get chipped around there. And if you have your horse or your farrier come out every 6 to 8 weeks, a horse can chip his hoof, a week after he's here, and then he runs around with some chipped hoofs. So what I'm going to do here is with this file, and you can get one from your farrier, they'll give you an old file. It doesn't have to be that sharp, it doesn't have to be new, it doesn't have to be fancy. Basically, you're just going to round off the edges when your horse gets a little chip. So if Tanner stands here and lets me get his hoof up here, good boy. So I'm going to get his foot sitting up there where it's nice and comfortable. I use a wire brush just because it I think it just helps kind of get the mud and stuff off the hoof. Gets any dirt, you can hook underneath. Gets the mud and rocks. It also keeps the dirt from messing up your file, so if your file is a little rough. So what happened here, he doesn't have very chipped feet because normally before I ride him or if I'm riding my horses, I will give them a little nice soft file and just basically round the corners. Kind of what women do with fingernail files when they round their fingernails to make them strong. You're doing the same thing with a hoof. So I'm just putting a little curved round edge. I'm not taking off hardly anything. You're not going to see a big difference, but it's actually strengthening the horse's foot by making it, the chips are gone and it's making it nice and smooth. Now I was using the rough end of the rasp. Now I'm going to use the smooth end. Again, I'm making nice round. I'm taking off any corners or chips. Doesn't take that long. I can do all 4 feet in less than 2 minutes probably. And then I'm just going to make a nice round finish, and that's going to make it stronger. It's going to take away the chips, make the hook lift knife, and you're going to have to do less work when you trim. If you do this once a week, either when you ride or whatever, you just trim it down and keep it nice and filed. And that's called a Mustang roll. Your farrier probably does it. And if your horse is barefoot, it's a good thing to know. Okay, we're going to talk about hi Mr. T. We're going to talk about how to connect this rope. I'm going to show a bank robber knot, and I'm going to show how to make a rope, how to connect your rope, your lead rope, to make it into reins on a rope halter. And I've seen a lot of different knots done this way. The knot I'm going to show you isn't the only way. I think it's the best way. It's easy, it's secure, and it doesn't tighten up so you can untie it easy. So what I'm going to do first of all, Mr. T, see buddy picked up the, he got into some stuff over there and made Mr. T nervous. so Mr. T got nervous and he decided to start lunging. Now somebody right now would be like, you need to make that horse listen. That horse is disrespect. This horse ain't doing nothing. He wanted to walk off, relieve a little stress and energy. Buddy kind of spooked him a little bit, and I let him walk a few circles. Everything doesn't have to be a fight with a horse. People want to have too much control. That horse should stand. I'm going to get some comment, like I got on, I don't know how many comments on Buddy. That horse is disrespectful. He doesn't respect his space. Blah, 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 blah. Shut the hell. I don't care about what you think my horse is disrespectful. I'm telling you, I have a relationship with my horses. We understand each other. I allow them to do things. I know and I'm confident enough that if I don't want them to do something, I know I can stop them. I don't have to prove it every second of every day to my horse that I'm in charge. He knows I'm in charge. I'm not holding Mr. T with some grip. Where's my gloves? I want to handle this horse. I got to get some gloves on so I don't burn my hands. If you're burning your hands, you ain't handling the horse right. Ain't no sense in grabbing and doing all this. You should be able to control your horse loosely and lightly and comfortable if your horse respects you and you know what you're doing. Of course, if you don't know what you're doing, then you need your gloves and you need your $75 stick with whose ever name you want on it or whatever else you need. This is cell line, it's rope. I discussed this. This is the best rope I think to use for horses. It's made to work in salt water, so when a horse sweats, their sweat and salt doesn't mess it up. It's strong because it holds big sails on sailboats. It's flexible, it's easy to tie, it's easy to work with. If I throw it or move it, it falls. It's got what I call feel. These cheap ropes that everybody wants to go get that are pink and green and they're made of this nylon and they're stiff as a stinking board and people are trying to tie them and you can't even bend the rope in half because it's so stiff. The biggest bend you can get is maybe this. And it's, if you take shortcuts on your ropes, you're going to have a problem tying these knots or securing a horse properly with good knots. And then when your horse pulls, because the rope isn't soft and flexible, it's hard to get untied. So then you end up cutting it or tearing it, but because it has a fancy, nice brass, silver, gold buckle or whatever else, don't waste your money. If you put money on the front end and buy good rope, you'll never have to buy another rope again. A good cell line you can order online at any selling shop. Pick your diameter, pick your color, pick your strength. It's got a nice cotton lining on the inside. It's good nylon, strong, but it's flexible and I can tie it and I can manipulate it and I can control it when I throw it, and it's soft and it's not, it just makes it a lot easier working with your horses. So I'm going to tie this on Mr. T. If I want to go riding right now, because I have rope halter, I can tie him and then I can put this around his neck and make this into a halter. And again, this isn't the only way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this loose end and I need to connect it to this rope halter so it becomes a reins. And I've seen some crazy running through here and running through there and loop and tie and then through here. Look, I think my knot's pretty simple. You take the loose end, you wrap it around one time, and the second time you come over the top and you come straight down. So when I pull this, it tightens, and when I pull this, it tightens. And that's my knot. And people are like, that don't look too secure. That looks like it. The more I pull on this, the tighter it gets. So once this is secure, this is how I secure my knot. Now I have reins on my horse and I can go riding. And if I've done my homework and I've ridden my horse with one rein, like I tell you, it doesn't really matter if this comes undone anyway. My knots never come undone. I've never had it come undone. But somebody's out there going to be like, I tried your knot, Rick, and it came undone and my horse ran away and it bucked me up. Look, if you know how to ride your horse with one rein, doesn't matter if it comes undone. Doesn't matter if your bit breaks or if your snap breaks or if your fancy leather with somebody's special name on it snaps because it gets dry rotted. Doesn't matter. You know how to ride your horse with one rein. You have confidence to control your horse, to stop your horse, and to ride your horse with one rein. Which is why I say ride your horse with one rein. Learn how to ride him with it on this side. Learn how to throw it over and ride him with it on the other side with one rein. Learn how to throw it back and ride him over on this side with one rein. That way, no matter what happens, as long as you got one rein, you can always still control your horse. So I'm going to tie this knot again. This is, again, all I'm doing is I'm looping once, twice, and then I'm going back over this rope with the loose end, pulling straight down. Didn't make that long enough for the demonstration here. Once, twice, through and down, and that's my knot. And I do that right on this knot. Now if I do it here, it's just going to slide around because it's a slip knot. So I do it right around this knot up here, but I just did it lower so you can see it. So again, I'll do it again. It unties easy and it ties easy. I come around, I loop once. On the second loop, I come over this rope and I go straight down both loops. Then I tie this one tight and I pull on this one to make it tight. And that's my knot. And it's not going to come undone. And when I want to take this off, what do you see, Mr. T? When I want to take this off, it's very easy because all I do is slide this out. It makes it loose. I pull that out and I'm loose and I'm ready to tie my horse with one rein. I do it one more time. People are going to watch this Rick, you did it too fast. The person filming wasn't right. But, look, I'll do it again. All I do is I loop it once, twice. I come around on top of the other rope and then come straight down. I pull down, I pull on this, I pull down, I pull on that, I tighten it, and there's my knot. That's how you connect a rope halter. It's pretty simple. I think it's simple. Again, like anything with horses and you, the more you do it, the simpler it gets. First time you tie this rope halter here, everybody's like, Rick, I can't get it. Do I come here? I don't remember, and you were doing too. Look, if you do it 10 times correctly, it'll start sticking, and it becomes second nature. It's very quick, it's very easy, and you can tell by looking at it if it's tied correctly. I can tell by looking at any rope halter that's not. I can tell if this rope halter is connected correctly for reins, because when I look at it, I'll see one loop, I'll see the second loop that comes over down the middle of both of them, and then when I tighten these, I'll know it's right over this knot, and I see this little rope right here hanging down, so I know that's right, and I see this coming back, and I know that's right. And that's how I go riding all the time. Never had this come undone. No matter how hard I pull, all it does is tighten and tighten and tighten, and it's not going to come undone. But to untighten it, all I do is loosen it up a little bit, comes off nice and easy, and I'm good to go. Again, I've seen a million different ways to do it. I think this is easiest. I've done it 3 or 4 times. I'll do it one more time. Now I'll get a complaint. Dude, what do you think? We're stupid? You did this 6 times. I got it on the 3rd time. I'm going to do it one more time. All right, Mr. T. We're training these humans, bud. Just bear with me. We're going to come once, twice. I'm going to go over and down both loops. Tighten there, and that's my knot. And that's how you secure reins for going riding. Again, if you've done your homework, you're not going to worry about that coming untied anyway, because you're ready in case it does, because you can ride with one rein and you're confident in your riding. So we'll make this one tape on how to connect a lead rope to a halter for riding. We'll end that there. Hope that helps. Mr. T, you're a good boy. Hi, I'm Rick Gore out of Travis Equestrian Center. Today we're going to be talking about how to get your horse to back up under saddle. Teaching a horse anything under saddle usually starts on the ground. So if your horse knows how to do it on the ground, he's going to know how to do it easier when you get in the saddle. So to get a horse to back up, there's a lot of ways to do it. First, you want to teach him what back up is. So I might put a little pressure on his nose and move into him, and he'll back out of my way. So he just backed up a little bit there. After he knows that means back up, maybe I'll use back with a little pressure from the lead rope, back, and I'm going to get in his space. By putting pressure on this lead rope and teaching him to back up like that, I'm going to give him the exact same cue when I'm on the saddle. So when I'm on the saddle, what I'm going to do to get him to back up is right here. I'm going to pull back on the reins a little bit and go back, back. And since he does it on the ground, he's going to do it in the saddle. I've set him up for success because I've taught him what the word back means for one cue, what the pressure to the rope halter means as a second cue, and then I say back and pull on these and just lightly put pressure and he backs up. So when I get on the saddle, he's already going to know how to back up. So all I'm going to do is show him that's what I want him to do while I'm on him. So since I know he knows it, I'll go ahead and jump on him here. Good boy. And now, since I know that what he knows he's supposed to do, I'm going to add an additional cue of leaning back and putting my feet forward. So, because later I'm going to want him to back up by just me leaning back. So I'm going to say back, I'm going to lean back, put my feet forward, put a little pressure on him, say back, back. Since he knows it on the ground, he knew it in the saddle. And that's how you teach a horse how to back in the saddle.